let you know. Okay, so we're going to begin now. So this week we're going to be doing a body scan. So you can do this sitting or lying down as you wish. But finding yourself where you are today. If you're feeling particularly tired, lying down does sort of encourage us falling asleep. So this week, we're going to be exploring present moment awareness and stress. Come on. So last week, your home practice was a 3-minute breathing space, this invitation to take a pause within your day 3 times, a sort of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is one of the fundamental practices within mindfulness that supports building new neurological pathways that allow you, when you are under stress, to access this. The idea is to practice this when you're not necessarily stressed, so that those foundations are laid ready for you to grab onto in moments that can be more challenging. But this week, we're going to be exploring this a little bit more, looking at stress and present moment awareness and what that is. We'll then move into a mindful body scan and open up to a reflective space. So what is stress? So according to the experts, stress is the brain and body's response to challenge, to change, or to demand. And it's the body's natural defense against danger brought on by an event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. When a stressful event occurs, the body is flooded with hormones to avoid or confront the danger. And this can be referred to as the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response, where we just don't know what to do and we look around and explore what others are doing as well. Now, stress is really important. If we didn't have stress, we wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. We wouldn't have that desire to complete tasks. So stress is important. However, it can become a chronic condition if the proper steps to manage it are not taken. If we don't take care of ourselves within stressful situations, we can cause chemical changes in the body that can raise our blood pressure, our heart rate, our blood sugar levels. And long-term stress or high levels of stress can lead to mental and physical health problems. So it's finding that balance. And one of the things with practicing this present moment awareness is that we can learn to be with the stress that we experience and relate to it in a different way. So it's not we can't make life less stressful, but we can impact on how we respond to it. So research published in a research journal in Personality shows that present moment awareness, which is one of the keys to mindfulness, it can increase stress resilience and effective coping. And essentially that's in 3 different things. So 1, your perceived competence in dealing with a stressful situation. So the felt sense that you can manage this. 2, your reliance on core values when responding to stressful situations. So again, that present moment awareness of how you would react to this rather than you under stress. So sometimes we might react in a way that feels really out of character to ourselves when we're stressed. And then that can then add to the stress. So when we shout at people or we blame people when afterwards we know that response was perhaps not how we would like to have responded. And then thirdly, your level of avoidance of stressful feelings. So this avoidance strategy that we can get into where we push it away and it can pop up later when we're not expecting it. So in summary, the results of the study confirmed that those with greater present moment awareness were more likely to respond to stress with strategies that lead to greater health and well-being. Specifically, being present in the moment when stressed was directly linked to greater perceived ability to handle that stress and more reliance on core values to navigate the situation. So, as we discussed last week, it's in the doing. So we're going to explore present moment awareness within the mindful body scan. So during this practice, you'll pay close attention to the physical sensations throughout your body. And the goal isn't to change or relax your body, but instead to notice and become more aware of it. So essentially, it's dropping from here into here, that we're not pushing our experiences away, but we're exploring, relating to them within our body. Just making sure that you're comfortable and warm. And if you are sitting and keeping your eyes open and would like to have something to focus on other than my face, there's the candle here to focus on. Let's begin. Taking a moment to arrive in your body. And an invitation to take an internal weather report. How are you? So maybe you find a label, maybe you're tired, maybe you're hungry, maybe you're feeling happy. Whatever's there, I now invite you to move away from the label and drop into the felt sensations. Whereabouts are they in the body? And then narrowing your attention to your breath. Simply breathing in and breathing out, following your in-breath, not changing the rhythm in any way. Just being with your breath as it is. You don't need to change it. The key to the mindfulness practices is allowing things to be as they are. So simply following your breath in and out, perhaps noticing the pauses. And if the breath isn't somewhere that you want to explore, perhaps finding a neutral part of your body that you can observe your breath almost as if from the sidelines, from maybe the crown of your head or your left ear or your right hand. Not getting too lost in exploring, but finding something that you can anchor yourself in. Our minds will wander and we will get lost within the practice. So finding a point within your breath or your body that you can quickly bring your attention back to each time you've wandered off, lost in your own stories, whilst your mind's doing what minds do. Finding something that you can bring your attention back to. And then turning your attention to your breath and expanding your awareness to include all of your body. Perhaps noting the points of contact that you're making with the earth. Perhaps noticing the air against your skin. Your direct experience of being in your body as it is. And now I'm going to invite you to narrow your attention to your left foot. What, if anything, you can notice here? The toes, the base of the foot, the top of the foot. Does it feel warm or cool or light or heavy? Is it tingling? Maybe you can't notice anything. What exactly is that nothingness of your left foot? And then from the left foot, an invitation to bring your attention to your left lower leg between the knee joint and the ankle joint. Bringing an open and kind welcome to what you notice here. Shining the spotlight of your attention around. Or maybe you color yourself in, or maybe it's a magnifying glass. The French call it a balayage, like a sweeping. Simply noticing your left lower leg. And then moving your attention to your left upper leg between the knee joint and the hip joint. What's here? So we explore present moment awareness and anchoring in our bodies in this moment. That our minds will wander, that's what they do. Not criticizing, but simply noticing and returning your attention back to your body. In this instance, the left upper leg, or maybe you're with your breath or that neutral part of your body. Remembering my guidance is simply that, guidance, and don't need to follow my instructions. You can listen to what you need to do and where you need to be in this present moment. So now an invitation to hold your left leg in your mind's eye as a whole and be playful with that breath. I'm going to invite you to breathe into the space of the left leg and breathe out of the space of the left leg in whatever way works for you, with a childlike curiosity. Maybe this doesn't feel right for you, then simply returning your attention to your breath or that neutral part of your body, just giving it a go. Perhaps it gives a sense of spaciousness. Perhaps it feels silly. Simply being with your experience of your breath and your left leg. And now moving your attention away from the left leg altogether and across to the right hip and all the way down to your right foot. And exploring what, if anything, you notice here. Maybe you can notice the contact with the earth or the fabric of your sock, or maybe there's nothing really standing out here. Your toes, the balls of the feet, the heel, the arch, tightness of the skin, throbbing, pulsing, warmth, coolness, heaviness, lightness. Maybe there's textures. Exploring your right foot in this moment. And then moving your attention away from your right foot and bringing it to your right lower leg between the ankle joint and the knee joint. The calf, the muscle, the bone, the tendons and ligaments. What do you notice here? What stands out? What's quiet? Remembering that there's no right or wrong way of doing this practice. We're simply observing in the moment sensations of our body. And then moving from the right lower leg to the right upper leg between the knee joint and the hip joint. What do you notice here? Contact with the earth, the fabric of your clothes, maybe the weight of your hand if it's resting on your thigh. Warmth, heaviness, coolness. Maybe there are textures and colours and shapes and movements. Being curious and interested in you. And now expanding your awareness of the right leg as a whole. So from the hip joint all the way down to the toes. And an invitation again to be playful with that breath. Simply noticing what's here now. Breathing in and breathing out. In whatever way works for you. Perhaps giving a sense of spaciousness, perhaps not. Meeting yourself where you are. You don't need to change anything. But simply be with your experience as we drop from the doing mind to being. And now moving your attention away from the right leg and bringing the spotlight of your awareness to the trunk area of your body. So the pelvis, the belly, the ribs, the upper back, middle back, and lower back, And shining the spotlight of your awareness around this part of the body and noticing what felt sensations you experience here. Softness, hard edges of bones, the rise and fall of your ribs, maybe your belly as you breathe in and out. Maybe noticing aches, niggles, maybe pleasant sensations. And as best you can, exploring your direct experience, leaving the stories behind and observing what you notice, the felt and direct sensations of being you, and exploring the trunk area of your body. And then an invitation to be playful with that breath again, breathing into each nook and cranny and breathing out of each nook and cranny. What do you notice? And now, just as we brought our attention to the trunk area of our body, we're going to move it away now to our arms. I'm going to explore the left arm and the right arm together. So from your shoulder down to your elbow, to your wrist and your hands, shining the spotlight of your awareness, that torch beam. Maybe you're coloring yourself in, maybe you're painting yourself. It's simply observing in whatever way works for you, what you notice in your arms. Do they feel light or heavy, warm or cool? Can you notice the fabric of your clothes? Can you notice the contact that they're making with the earth or perhaps against your body? Being curious and interested and open to the now of your experience of being you. And now an invitation to be playful with that breath again, of breathing into the space of the arms and breathing out of the space of the arms. Maybe you breathe in through your fingers and out through your fingers. Maybe it's like blowing a balloon or simply directing your breath. And then just as we brought our attention to the arms, we're going to move them away and bring them to your neck, your scalp, and your face, the eyes, the nose, the jaw. Where does your tongue rest in your mouth? What's your experience of sounds as they enter your ears? Are you breathing through your mouth or your nose? Perhaps noticing your eyeballs darting around behind your eye sockets if your eyes are closed. Simply observing your face and your head, scalp, your neck, jaw. And then expanding your awareness to include your arms and your body and your left leg and your right leg. And a final invitation to be playful with that breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing into the space of your body, meeting yourself where you are, as you are, with that present moment awareness. And then narrowing your attention to your breath, observing the breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Grace by Alice Walker. Grace gives me a day too beautiful, I had thought, to stay indoors, and yet washing my dishes, straightening my shelves, finally throwing out the wilted onions, shrunken garlic cloves, I discover I am happy to be inside looking out. This, I think, is wealth. Just this choosing of how a beautiful day is spent. So moving and stretching in whatever way your body feels called to do. I'm just going to invite some thoughts. So for those of you practicing at home outside of this space, I'd like you to have a think about present moment awareness. And within that mindful body scan, what were you thinking? Where did you go? What sensations in your body did you notice? Did anything surprise you or delight you, or you wanted to push away? I was thinking how you responded. And then what emotions or feelings did you experience? And you're welcome to reach out and send me an email about anything that came up for you if you'd like to explore that with me. And just to finish with the home practice, which is going to be a 10-minute body scan that you'll find on the page. So it'll be a quicker version of what we've explored, and hopefully you'll be able to find the time for yourself within your day, so over the next week, to build up that present moment awareness skill that you're developing. So I'm going to pause the recording now. And invite any questions or feedback from that. Okay, so we're going to close with this 3-part breathing space that you've been practicing. And over time, this will be something that you can do in the supermarket queue, or while you're waiting for the internet to work. those little niggly moments that can cause us distress. So just taking a moment to arrive in your body, have your eyes open or closed as you are. What do you notice? What thoughts, feelings, emotions are darting around, and where do you feel them in your body? And then narrowing your attention to your breath, simply following the in-breath, out-breath and pauses, not changing the breath in any way. Just noticing the sensations of your breath as it is. You don't need to change anything. Simply be with your experience as it is. And then expanding from the breath to include all of the body. The space above you, beneath you, beside you, in front of you, contact with the earth, perhaps having a sense of feeling supported and held. And just taking a moment to congratulate yourself for having taken the time out of your busy day to be here, to listen to your body. And in doing so, you are taking an active step in taking care of your own health and well-being. It's not easy. These techniques are simple, but they are not easy. So as best you can, taking this sense of awareness and connection into whatever you have left to do with your day. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll have everything up on the page as soon as I can. So enjoy the body scan over the next week.